We have risen from the ashes to school the masses. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Scholars of Wrestling Show. I am your man behind the microphone, Scholar Jeff. To my right is Scholar Tarek. What's up, sir?
It's Hell in a Cell weekend, but it really doesn't feel like a big deal, does it? Because it sure as hell doesn't feel like a big deal for WWE.
It may not, but what do you think? Current reigning and defending Scholars of Wrestling heavyweight champion of the world, Scholar Brian. Did I get all that right?
You did, but I can do it better. So allow me. As your current reigning, defending Scholars of Wrestling heavyweight champion.
You failed.
Shut up. I do.
Hey, at least he actually introduced you as champion without you having to push.
Yes.
How many times did I have to keep telling you?
Because there is respect here.
Yeah.
That apparently he doesn't have for you. But it's okay because as champion, I do have to agree. Okay, if it wasn't written down on my calendar that this Sunday was Hell in a Cell, I wouldn't know.
Yes, it is indeed a pay-per-view weekend for WWE. Hell in a Cell 2018, which means for us, it's a prediction show. And for you, that means that you are putting that title on the line.
I know this. I relish it.
So you know what?
Do you really?
The gauntlet has been thrown down. It's time for another prediction show. Hell in a Cell 2018. Boys, let's get into it. Starting with the most exciting match on the card for you personally, I know. Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella versus Miz and Maurice. Gentlemen, who do you got?
Let the champ go first. That's going to be our rule now. For prediction shows, champs always go first.
If this isn't...
Get in the shot.
You would think... You would think that this is almost the most obvious match on the card. Almost. Okay, we all know what the most obvious one is. But is there any doubt that Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella win here?
For me personally, no.
Yeah.
No, I'm definitely going with Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella as well. This seems like a perfect case of 50-50 booking at its finest.
And especially the fact that you have a returning Bella here. And they're building, they're obviously, as much as we might not like it, they're building up the Bellas for big things. So you're not going to have her lose her first match back, her first major match back. And Daniel Bryan gets his win back over The Miz, and we can continue this on a one-on-one fashion. So, hey, yeah, Daniel Brie, it was easy enough.
What say you?
From past experience, if I went for the Miz and Maurice, I'm going to lose. So I'm going with Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella. As much as I don't want to choose a Bella winning, but who am I kidding? WWE has just a hard-on for the Bella twins as they do for Roman Reigns.
I'm trying to remember. Did you choose the Miz and Maurice to beat John Cena and Nikki?
Yes, I did.
Got it. Yeah,
Yes,
I know
understood.
where that statement comes from.
As you said it, fool, this is 50-50 booking. This is just a way for them to put the bump on the road, saving for their Super Showdown match, which is Miz and Daniel Bryan for the #1 contendership for the WWE Championship. So that's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
It's just a layover. It'll give, if nothing else, it will give Daniel Bryan and The Miz a nice pay-per-view payday.
And to continue with this feud, of course, they have to add the lives.
Naturally.
It seems kind of natural.
You knew it was coming.
Or at least, at the very least, appropriate on some level. But moving on to greener pastures, it is the Battle of the Days. We've got the New Day versus Rusev Day for the SmackDown Tag Titles. My turn?
It is.
For this one, for this entire card, rather, I'm going to say that I'm going to be following my heart the whole way through.
I know what that means.
What does it mean in the context of this match? What do you think it means?
It means you're going for Rusev Day.
No. If you're going to be singing it, you got to be singing it right. It's Rusev Day. That felt good.
Every cent of those voice lessons paid off right in that moment.
It really did.
It actually kind of did. It legit did. But anyway, yeah, I'm going Rusev Day. They've been over for too long. I think that this feud has been going on, even within the infighting with Rusev Day, whatever else you want to call his tag team. I think their time is now. I'm penning it in. Rusev Day has taken this one, along with the tag titles.
Cool. When it comes to this build, when it comes to these to this tag title match, as much as I would love to see Rusev Day win it, especially now that they've gotten their groove back, now they're basically on the same page. I'm gonna say the New Day retain, because one, they just win it, and WWE's at that point where they just don't want to have basically hot potatoing the belts. So I'm just gonna go ahead and stick with the New Day. I really got nothing else to say on that one.
You're going with the New Day?
I'm going with the New Day because, well, first of all, I can see that infighting with Rusev Day coming to a head during this match. If you really think about it.
You see a heel turn for one of them?
Yes. But also, going off of what Tarek said, I don't believe that they're going to be... I feel like a different tag team title match is going to be hot-shotted, so I don't think they want to do that twice in one show. So...
Okay.
So, New Day for the win, retain. I feel like a big, New Day versus the Bar thing is coming. So, and I'm more... I gotta say I'm more interested in that than I am a Rusev Day versus the Bar feud.
When you really look at it, the tag team division, we've said it many times on this show, the tag team division for SmackDown is completely stacked. So if they do break up Rusev Day, I don't think it's really gonna hurt the tag team division. And if anything, it will give Rusev a good singles run and give Shinsuke Nakamura a challenger for his United States title, because he has none. He has absolutely nobody. He's not even on the card, which is very sad.
Yes, very, very sad.
I can see that tear building up in your eye for that knowledge.
Sadness. But speaking of the
that
place
didn't sound
where...
convincing at all.
Well, now I did the build for this card, so there you go.
Hey!
Oh, But speaking of places where Shinsuke Nakamura should be, next match that we've got here, Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton.
In a Hell in a Cell match for no reason. Hey.
Just to put Jeff Hardy in a Hell in a Cell match, because he has never been.
Yeah.
That's one thing that they're going for. When it comes to this, I'm going to go with Randy Orton, because I think Jeff Hardy's going to try and pull some humongous stunt that will just mess up terribly.
Yeah, we all know where this is going.
Possibly.
That's the whole point of Jeff Hardy being in a Hell in a Cell match. For him to do something completely Jeff Hardy-like, crash and burn, and Randy Orton pick up the pieces.
So you're going Randy Orton too?
This one for me was the most obvious match on the card.
Didn't you say the first match was the most obvious?
No, I said it was close.
Oh, close.
Yes, I'm going to make a good old-fashioned triplicate. This one, as much as part of me would like to think that Jeff Hardy is going to take it, I'm just not sold. Just the way this whole thing is being positioned, I'm just not there.
I don't think the loss will hurt him either, especially if he does something nuts like, swanton off the cell.
Yeah. I quite honestly believe there's nothing that can hurt the credibility of Jeff Hardy at this point. He has transcended into that echelon where he could lose to anybody. And all he has to do is something completely Jeff Hardy-like to cause that loss. Mm-hmm. And it'll be explainable. Mm-hmm. That's it. So Jeff Hardy could job until the end of time as long as he does something completely Jeff Hardy-like to cause the loss every time. Mm-hmm. And it won't hurt him at all.
All right. We have another consensus. Next match on the card, we've got, for the Raw Women's title, Ronda Rousey versus Alexa Bliss. Part dos.
Hey, remember when I said that Randy Orton versus Jeff Hardy was the most obvious match on the card? Yeah, I lied. It's this one. It's Ronda Rousey by a mile. It's not even... I could see this match going quicker than the first one.
This one, I'm going to go with Ronda too. If for no other reason than I think it's way too soon and not the right circumstance for Ronda to lose the title yet. There's still too much good publicity, and not for nothing, it's going to take a really big deal to take Ronda down at this point.
I'm going with Ronda Rousey as well. Although I'm not agreeing with the fact that it's going to be quicker than the last one, because they actually are building a story that Ronda is hurt. So they're going to take advantage of that. So it looks like Alexa might have a chance, but in the end, Ronda's going to be like, I don't care if I'm hurt, I'm going to beat your ass down, you sexy thing.
You know, the way that you looked before you started talking, I actually thought that you were going to say Alexa Bliss. Because you were shaking your head, you had the look on your face. I was like, oh God, he's going rogue. That's it.
I don't think I'm going to go rogue on this one. At least on
this one.
Actually, I don't think I'm going to go rogue really on this card.
It feels this card is the most obvious in a long time.
It's not even that it's the most obvious. It's just obvious that they don't really care about this one. Yeah. It's just a time filler because they're putting more focus on the Super Showdown. They're putting more focus on Evolution. This match it's just inconvenience. I was like, oh, we have a pay-per-view right now? Might as well just get it out of the way. Hell, Super Showdown has the same matches. Mm.
Next match on this particular card, we've got Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre versus The Shield for the Raw Tag Titles.
Hold on. You gotta get the names right. It's Ziggletire defending the Raw Tag Team Championship against The Shield.
But if you're going based off of Raw, it's not The Shield. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose.
It's just
not
Seth
The Shield.
Rollins.
It's the friggin' Shield.
No. If we're going based on Raw, it is not The Shield. It is Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. Okay. Either way. Okay.
Wait, whose go is it? Is it yours, fool? Yeah, yes. You had Rob.
Shield. I'm going with Shield.
Really?
Because reasons. I'm following my heart. I'm going.
Wow,
with
you really
Shield.
are going with your heart on this event. I'm kind of pulling the same argument I had with the New Day and Rusev Day. Ziggletire just won the Raw Tag Team Championship, and I just don't see the Shield having every single title on Raw. At least every single male title on Raw. So I'm going to go with Ziggletire.
See, here's the deal counteracting that statement. Okay, we all know that Dean Ambrose is going to turn soon at some point in the very near future. And I believe that the WWE wants to have a moment where before they collapse the Shield entirely and go off and do their own thing, I feel like they do want the members of the Shield to hold every male title on Raw. Therefore, as soon as they started building the Shield versus the Hounds of War, the Dogs of War, like they did, I felt like this was what they were going for. Okay, they're gonna turn Dean Ambrose soon. You can tell by the mannerisms and all that. And before that, they want to strike while the iron is hot, per se. Is it really hot? I don't know at this point, but I believe that Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins come out on top in this one. As I said during the SmackDown Tag Team title match, that I thought that they were going to hotshot the other one, so I didn't think they were going to hotshot both in one night. Therefore, the Shield, I believe that this is the first step in the show to having the Shield with all titles. So, yep, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose for the win, probably opens up the show.
All right.
The only way I could see the Shield winning if it's by disqualification. I don't see the title changing hands.
Well, there's only one way to tell who's going to be right. But until then, we've got our next match on the card, which is Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch, SmackDown Women's title. Who do you got?
Me. I'm gonna go with Charlotte on this one. I think they're saving Becky Lynch's title win for Evolution.
I agree entirely, except I'm not going Charlotte with a victory per se. I'm going Charlotte by disqualification.
So you're thinking it's going to be a quote quote double turn? They're going to turn?
No, I'm saying that Becky Lynch goes apeshit and just is it a Hell in a Cell match?
No.
Okay, and there's no holds barred or anything
just
like that.
One-on-one.
Yeah, so. There's definitely going to be shenanigans. I don't see a clear winner here.
Who walks, even if it's a disqualification, who walks away with the victory?
Charlotte.
Charlotte?
I've got Becky Lynch, because they're trying real hard to make her a bad guy, even though the crowd is not having it.
Nope,
at
they are
all.
not at all.
But the only thing that makes sense to me is if there has to be a victor, I'm choosing Charlotte. Other than that, I can definitely see a no contest here. This is the match that I can see it.
Whether it's a legit win or whether it's a disqualification, which I can absolutely see happening, I'm going to be the contrarian again, and I'm going to go with Becky Lynch for this one. Something's got to break eventually. May not be now, but I can still, even if it's not this is not where the legit win happens, I can still see a disqualification happening. I can still see any number of things happening. But I gotta be contrarian here. I'm following my heart for the rest of this card. I'm going with Becky Lynch.
Because you know that if I followed my heart, it would be Becky Lynch wins everything at all times. So I gotta go with my head here, and they would want the biggest superstar, the one who's getting more cheers than even Ronda Rousey. They would want her to win at the women's only pay-per-view.
I know where you're going with following your heart. I know where you're going with this.
Well,
yes.
Let's see if you're right.
Next
match, AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe for the WWE Championship.
Brian?
Styles, Joe, who do you got?
This was the hardest match for me to choose on the card. And I still think that this... I'm going AJ Styles here. I can't even explain it. I can't even explain why this is, but it's that I just went back and forth. But I see more matches in the style that I would like with AJ Styles as champion than with Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe's time will come. I don't even think this feud ends here.
Oh, it's not. Definitely not.
Yeah, but I see AJ Styles coming out on top.
I said I was going to follow my heart. It's what brought me to my first championship win. I'm going to go with Samoa Joe. I still have a lot of doubt for a lot of these matches, including this one. So I'm rolling the dice on this one. I know it, but you know what?
This is a big gamble for you. On this this is huge.
Well, you know what?
I think let's look at two matches?
I mean, it's like the others I could see. Like, I mean,
let's look at the facts here. Let's look at the facts. You have champion's advantage, right? You have the Scholars in the Bank briefcase, which if there's a tie, you will break it.
This is him taking chances. Like I took
so
the
chance. I'm going to vote for what I really want to see happen. Maybe it's predictable, maybe it's not. But you know what? It got me my first championship. It kept it on my lovely shoulder for a good, nice little chunk of time.
The exact same amount of time I had the belt. So.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I get it.
So you know what? If I'm going to have any chance at victory here, I'm going to roll the dice. I'm not going to let a tie happen so you can cash it in. I'm certainly not going to let you overtake everyone in points. So you know what? If this card ends up being way more unpredictable than anyone else thinks, then you know what? Guess who's walking away with that title? This guy.
Slowly hinting in there. No, it's going to be me.
Tark, you'd still need to officially put in your predictions for Joe AJ.
I'm pretty much repeating what I said about Becky Lynch and Charlotte. They're saving. They're very high on Samoa Joe, but they're not going to have this. They're not going to use his title win at basically such a low-ranked pay-per-view that really they don't give a shit about.
So AJ.
So I'm going with AJ, and like Becky Lynch, they're saving his win for the Super Showdown.
Okay.
That's my prediction.
Either the Super Showdown or they're gonna hold off until Survivor Series.
I don't
they're gonna do. It's either gonna be at the Showdown or or one of the big four. Not a pay-per-view that they could clearly not give a shit about. Clearly.
Well, that's why I said about Hell in a Cell. They give a shit about the Super Showdown. This is a huge deal for them.
Yep.
Definitely better than Saudi Arabia.
Which brings us to our main event of the evening. We've got Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman. Hell in a Cell for the Universal Championship.
Go for your heart. Jeff.
Braun is Strowman.
Just clicked. I'm like, he's going with his heart for this
Braun
whole show?
Strowman.
Yeah.
I do not want to see him lose that cash in. It's too right. I want to see it happen so bad. Even if there's a slight bit of doubt, I don't want to believe it. I still believe in Brawny the Strowman. He's come through me for in a pinch before. He's rescued my title from the grip of defeat on more than one occasion. He's got a fan for life in me. I love Braun Strowman. He is my big, burly defender of justice. He will save the day. Braun Strowman to win.
Allow me to crush all of your hopes and dreams. He is my biggest. I am one of the biggest fans of Braun Strowman. Everyone here can agree that we are all big fans of Braun Strowman. However, okay, this is another one where they are not going to hotshot the title off of a guy that they are trying to make their big horse. If it was anybody else, I would say yes. But here's the deal, okay? Whenever John Cena announced his cash in, he lost. Okay, and the fact that exactly what I said earlier. Okay, they want the Shield to hold all the titles before they lose. Okay, and I actually think they're doing this cash-in one-on-one match too soon. If they wanted Braun Strowman to win in a cash-in match, it would be, once again, on a pay-per-view that they give a shit about.
Wait. So, say that again?
If they wanted... I don't think it was a good plan to have him cash in for a match at a pay-per-view that they quite honestly couldn't give two shits about. If he cashed in at like Survivor Series or Super Showdown, I'm cashing in. Okay, I believe more that it wouldn't even be close. Braun Strowman wins for all time. But you had the Shield coming together. You got This has all the elements of everything that I've talked about. The WWE wants to have the Shield hold all the titles at least once before everybody goes their separate ways and does their own thing. That's why they got back together. That's why they got back together the first time. Then Dean Ambrose got hurt. Okay, because it was gonna be they were gonna do that before WrestleMania, before Dean Ambrose got hurt. Dean Ambrose got hurt, came back. They started up the Shield again, and it was said that they were going back to the original plan of how they were doing it. So I thought the last time that they were gonna hold all the titles by the time they were flushed out and everybody turned. I still stand by that. So at this point, I'm going Roman Reigns.
It's all on you.
This is the saddest thing. They had this whole build up to get Roman Reigns the Universal Championship, just to have him lose it at his first big pay-per-view, his first pay-per-view defense. No, they're not going to do that. They're willing to sacrifice Braun Strowman's cash-in just to make Roman Reigns look strong. And that's all they ever think about. This is all, they're going for Roman Reigns. And we're going to have a nice, lengthy Roman Reigns Universal title run.
That's why I was never that's why I hated that Braun Strowman won the Money in the Bank. You know how much I railed against that decision because I knew that they were going to have Roman Reigns become champion, and at that point, it's like I didn't expect they'd be that dumb to have Braun Strowman cash it in immediately after he became champion, because there's no way they're not doing that again to Roman Reigns. They already did it once. They're not going to do it again. So I never agreed with Braun Strowman winning the Money in the Bank. I thought it would have been better suited to someone who could take the loss and just go back to what they were doing. But yeah, we're hurting Braun Strowman here. That's basically...
All it is just to get Roman over. The heel turn with Braun, the reunion of the Shield, to have the entire heel division on Raw be nothing more than just basically the foot soldiers for Mick Ziegelman.
Let's be honest.
That's their trio name, Mick Ziegelman.
Yes. Let's be honest. They have done that before, and it was before everybody hated Roman Reigns. So, and everybody loved that back then. So they were like, "Hey, let's try that again." Except everybody loves Braun Strowman, and
so let's turn it heel.
Yeah. So
because reasons.
We can't have anyone get bigger cheers than Roman Reigns.
Even though his own teammates do. That's it. And they thought that would help. No, it just makes the people start to dislike the people that they used to love. Okay, because I heard the boos when Ambrose and Rollins came out. because of who they were associated with. So
some people just gotta learn the hard way. But you know what? If nothing else, my heart is still full. This card for me is going to be my spirit bomb. Just the hopes and dreams of wrestling fans in general. Give me your energy. Let's drop it on them. And hopefully I'll be able to walk away with a little bit of gold on my shoulder.
Also, okay, let's put this out there. There is no chance, looking down the card right here, there's no chance for a tie.
Well,
that means someone...
This is out of the picture right now.
That means there will be a clear winner. Take that as you will.
When it comes to you and me, Brian, it's just the one match.
Yep.
Well, you know what? For me personally, this makes it all the more interesting. So you know what? To that I say, bring on Hell in a Cell. This is going to be, it'll be fun for us. Even regardless of the outcome of the matches or how quality they are, this is going to be a fight to the finish. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, just looking at the card right now, you know that they didn't give a shit, but the quality of the matches on paper, this could be one for the books. Just going down with the matches, okay? Everybody knows they didn't give a shit, but they just threw shit together. But what they threw together could make for a very fun watch.
I think when you really look at it, it actually is a pretty good card. When you look at it on the paper, it actually does look like a good card, and I actually do think that they're going to put on good quality matches. It's just the build,
back of your head,
the build was just horrible. The go-home shows were terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, SmackDown was better than Raw. We were Raw versus SmackDown, but that's honestly not saying much.
Thank you.
Both shows were just very, very piss poor this week, and I even posted it on Twitter. Raw is so bad that now it's a chore. I'm very, very disappointed in this week.
So
I would actually be more enthusiastic on the show, but no, this past week definitely hurt me.
You get what you give, and the WWE didn't give. So it's not getting.
So, those are our predictions. We'll see what happens. But now, we're turning it over to you, our listening and viewing audiences. What do you think is going to happen at Hell in a Cell? Who's going to walk away with the title? Furthermore, who in this room is going to walk away with the Scholars of Wrestling Heavyweight Championship? We want to hear from you, so let us know all across the internet what you'd have to say. If you're joining us on YouTube, first of all, thank you. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff that everyone says these days. If you're checking us out on Facebook, just run a search for the Scholars of Wrestling Show, like our page, as you do. And of course, if you want to get a little more up close and personal, you can join the conversation yourself on Twitter, starting with our main page, at ScholarsOW. Check us out there for all the latest episode uploads. And for general commentary and live tweets, you can check us out on our own personal Twitter accounts. Brian, Mr. Champ, where can they reach you?
Let me see if I can get it right this time. You can find your current reigning defending Scholars Heavyweight Champion at Atomic Beanpole.
And where can they reach you?
You can find me, your reigning, defending, undisputed Mr. Scholar in the Bank, at The Avatar.
And you can reach me, the one scholar who's not a complete raving egomaniac.
Don't you dare say that. When you were a champion, you were just as much an egomaniac.
Put it up to his face.
I have no idea what you're referring to.
Oh, you know exactly what I'm referring to.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Go back in past episodes and watch yourself.
And
you were just as much an egomaniac as champion as I
Look
was.
to your left, it's the closest you'll ever see it again.
You can find me at I'm Robbie Rage. Follow us all on Twitter.
Oh, that reminds me. Do you think Mick Foley is going to do something a bit crazy as the special guest referee?
No.
Surprised we actually didn't bring that up on the prediction.
The man is retired. He wants.
The man is retired. If he does anything crazy, his bones will explode in his body. So I hope not.
Yeah.
Which means Braun Strowman's gonna crush him.
I certainly hope.
And that's how Roman Reigns wins.
Braun's going to slam him through the cage. Like how he did it to Big Show.
Well, either way, it sounds like you know what's going to happen this weekend. You also know who we are. We're the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled.
You're welcome.
See you all at Hell in a Cell. Bye-bye.